Okay, well, it's almost 5 minutes past, so we can start. I'll make the pad. Um, there's not much in there right now for today. I just put in POSI and SNMP topics. Um, I figured what we could do is we could start with other teams, other than like the Ceph team, if they had topics they wanted to bring up, and then we could maybe discuss like POSI and stuff at the end, because we're having some issues there to talk about. So what else is in here? So here we have like the spiel from like Rook, like one me. Do you have any topics from that group for this week?
No, not too much to share. Okay, we are working in the top VM operator. Okay, there are good news because well, I think that we have a fixed version of Topol VM working, Topol VM operator working with the original Topol VM project. The developer is very open to contributions, and we have started to work closely. And I think that for next week, we can start to provide a design for the CRD in order to start the implementation of smart dynamic provisioning. That is just the thing that we need in order to, to manage OSDs in Rook environments, in Kubernetes environments, in the same way or similar way that which we are using in FEDM. So, well, slow progress, but step by step. So happy in that area.
Okay, well that's good to hear. I don't know too much about it myself, but I'm glad that it's making progress still. Okay. Francesco or John, do you have anything you want to bring up from your team here?
Not today. Not today.
I'm here to listen. I don't have anything to bring up today, though.
Okay. And what about you, Ernesto? Do you have anything from the dashboard team related to the orchestrator?
Nope. I mostly joined just to see if I can help with the processing.
Okay. Yeah, we are just ironing out some issues. We do want to extend it to other teams more. We have things actually working. I guess if they're at that point, we could probably just jump to that topic. So I don't know, Sage, if you want to give us, like, fill us in on if you've seen anything. I know you've been looking with GDB into what's going on with the manager right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to debug a case where the manager thread hangs. I finally got it to reproduce and I attached GDB. It looks like it's some sort of locking deadlock, so I have to like sift through all these backtraces to figure out which lock it's deadlocking on. So I'm gonna try to sort that out. I guess that's the current the current issue. I guess just a little bit of news from Paul, who talked to Luca overnight. They aren't planning on deploying this as Ceph ADM. They're going to use Ceph Ansible, and they're going to have they're not going to use our monitoring stack. They're going to be using something else. So I guess the pressure's off to like fix every bug and get it backboard or anything. At the same time, I think we should like make the most of this opportunity and try to like identify as many issues as possible and hopefully test as many fixes as we can. What else has been happening? Yeah, no, Paul's last night he was looking into the Prometheus module is seeing some serious like slowness, which is I guess not super surprising given that all 4,000 OSDs and are feeding all their stuff into the manager, and then we're trying to scrape it in Python code. But even so, there were some functions that were taking way longer than they should. So I don't know if he got very far on that. Otherwise, everything else in the cluster, I haven't noticed any issues. I haven't tried using the dashboard, so I don't really know how the dashboard's going to be behaving here. But mostly just been focusing on the step manager stuff because it's all over the place. Definitely struggling at this scale.
Yeah, hopefully we can figure out what's going on. I thought it was going okay, as of like yesterday.
Yeah. Well, then I deployed all the other OSDs. So I think that didn't help. Like
Is that when
testing
this
method.
started, or is it like a little bit after?
I'm not sure. I guess a little bit after. I don't know. This particular freezing thing I haven't noticed until today. So maybe something's different. But I gotta, yeah, I gotta zip through these traces and add it better.
I think we also need to prioritize a little bit this SSH error in the logs.
I like
Like,
just so it isn't spamming like
yeah,
50 lines of 100 lines of stuff.
it's like hundreds of lines of
Yeah.
this. Even the it's like health detail and everything. It's still
So that function, that like filter function that you have on the log messages in the SSH modules, like can you filter like based on the log message content? Like
it was
maybe
for
that's what we
just
have to
the
do.
agent cherry pie logs. It wasn't for the generic logs.
Oh, okay.
That one. But you could probably do something similar. What that's doing,
Yeah.
where you just have to find that log and you can just send it to a filter function. As long as you know which log it's actually coming from. I don't think you can put it at like the higher level log. You can just put it like the generic top level one. But if you
Yeah.
put it, you find where it's coming from. I think you can do that. You can filter out messages that have certain text in them or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing like that.
Unless, yeah. I mean, it'd be nice if async SSH had a way to do it, but if it doesn't, then yeah.
I'm not sure. I haven't looked at their logging at all. I know Cherry Pie had some specific things they built in for messing with their logs, but um, async SSH, I don't know.
Yeah, I can look into if async SSH has like filtering stuff for their logs, but I'm like off the top of my head, I don't think they do.
Yeah, or an option that doesn't send extended debugging information to the log when it hits a connection error or whatever it is. I did
There's
notice that on some of the machines, when I try to SSH into them, the ones that are like we're not able to reach it, if I do SSH-V and then try to connect, it like connects, and a second later it like gets disconnected. Like there's some the host isn't dead, you can ping it and it's accepting the connection, but then it's closing it. So I don't know what state those machines are in, but it might be. Next time I see that, I guess we should probably give those machine names to Luca so they can like figure out why they're refusing connections. I don't know if we're breaking them or if they're broken for other reasons.
like 3 of them right now offline.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah, and Melissa, you saw I showed you the tracker yesterday, so you saw the because there was a pretty easy way to recreate this. It's not in the log, it's like just more directly with like the host add command, but at least there's a good way to test it.
Would it help if we put those hosts in maintenance mode? Would that make Ceph stop
Yeah, the
harassing us
serve loop
about that?
doesn't touch host and maintenance mode, I don't think.
Because like on day 2, there was a host or 2 that was down. I just removed it because I just wanted Ceph to stop trying. But
One thing
maybe we should settle these in maintenance mode.
I'm not sure of is if you try to put it in maintenance mode, will it fail to do that? Because it'll try to go stop all the daemons on the host. I don't know if it'll actually work.
Be a good thing to try.
Yeah, we could have to give it a go. Yeah. And then the other topic that I had, if we don't have any more things to say about the Posi cluster, is the SNMP, which that's still in progress. That's kind of like a big one that's changing. It was mostly Paul's work, and then Sebastian took it up because Paul's been focusing on the Posi stuff. And that's one of the biggest PRs open right now. Yeah, I don't know what there's to say about it though. It's just want everyone to know in case they're interested in that. That's happening as well. Okay, well, that's all the topics I came up with anyway. Anyone has anything else?
Hey Adam, this is Ramana from the Ceph team. I've been testing out the NFS service with Ceph agent to check if HA works as we expected. We wanted to work in OpenStack, the OpenStack's Manila service. which will eventually call into this FADM managed NFS service. I was testing out those NFS servers using the KCLI cluster, as you mentioned. And I wasn't able to get the NFS HA working when one of the hosts went down. That is, I brought down one of the VMs where one of the Ganesha services were running, and they weren't redeployed. So I think I'll try to recreate it and try to get the relevant logs so that might help you out and create a tracker ticket. I was wondering if you've done more tests, when you developed it, more tests around bringing it down one of the hosts of VM where the services, NFS service runs, and like if they get redeployed.
I think as far as HO, that was like the case that was not covered at all. Was we don't have any case for hosts going entirely offline, like to the failover.
Yeah.
I think we were at least going to implement something where in scheduling where it would try to move daemons if they're on offline hosts for like these certain services, but I don't know if it ever actually got done. I have to look at that again.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I've always been fuzzy on what happens when the host is offline and what Cephadium's behavior is.
For the most part, I think it just doesn't touch it. It won't remove or add any daemons.
Yeah.
Which is normally okay. It's usually good, but I think in this case we need to deploy another daemon, or we need to change it so the other NFS, if there is one, is active or something.
Yeah. If it's a stateless service, I think we should aggressively reschedule, I guess.
But NFS in particular, do we just want to try to make the other one active, or do we actually move things?
Mm-hmm. I think there should be a list of daemon types that we. I thought that we did this. Where there's a list of ones that we.
I think we started it. I think it got broken though, because I think it was causing that bug with when you rebooted the host, the monitors would leave the mon map or whatever. It was like removing daemons from offline hosts. We tried to fix that, and I think it undid this change. That worked. I don't think we ever got back to fixing it.
Okay.
So, look at that. It probably just doesn't work at Ramona. We probably have to look at that again. I think like the HA, the actual keep alive and HA proxy stuff are there, and then it'll redeploy if it's in an error state. But I think the offline host case isn't covered yet, so that'll have to get done.
Yeah.
So Adam or Sage, do you want me to create a tracker ticket or start a mail thread? How do you want me to progress regarding this? Because this would block the OpenStack team's work. Because right now in OpenStack Manila, what they have is pacemaker Coro sync that helps to redeploy Ganesha if one of the hosts goes down. So we want a equal replacement, right? So.
Yeah. I would open a ticket, tracker ticket bug that says that NFS daemon not rescheduled when host is down.
And if you think you have a good recreation process as well, just include that in there as well. Like official, not official, I guess, but like a good test.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to figure out how to expand the test so that I don't know if we need a way to simulate that a host is down or something in Toothology so that we can exercise this code.
You remove the SSH key? Would that do it?
Yeah, or maybe even just have a hook that that makes it so that the connection attempts start returning errors or something. Might have to simulate it. Or we can just turn the host off. I don't know. Yeah, let's figure it out.
All right, yeah.
Anyway.
We don't have that technology yet.
Should work.
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Ramona. If you set that up, we'll take a look at that as well.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll create a tracker ticket for that.
Okay. Is there anything else you want us to bring up here?
I think at some point we'll need to go through that document and generate a whole bunch of tickets. But
With Aussie talk.
Yeah,
Is that already linked in the
we have to do it now.
other pad somewhere?
Do that.
I see
There's
it.
like a million little things in there that.
I'll just copy it. Yeah, we do need to do that because there's a handful of little things like that that we have to keep track of. They don't want them just in that document.
Let's make sure there's no sensitive in there. Okay. I'll link it from this. Okay.
All right.
Okay, cool.
So does anyone have any other topics, or should we call it here? All right. I'll see you guys next week then.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.